Aloha from Kilipoi, Keikani Aloha. So the starters come in and we're gonna get going here, put this thing together. Okay, so what else do we got here? We got a kludged up throttle cable because the other one was frozen. So this is a this is the original head here, and drilled a hole through there, and that, if you're a bicycle mechanic, you'll notice is a bicycle shifting cable with a shifting cable jacket. And then so this is the original part that the cable was attached to, and so you can barely see the cable come through there, go down, and then this is a piece of copper I just flattened out and strapped it around there to go into there. And that comes around here and attaches to the throttle, and I move the lever. Sure enough, it moves the throttle. So we're set if we get this thing started. Looks like a starter motor. Looks like that, right? Yeah, looks very similar. Okay, well, we're gonna put it in, put you on a tripod, and we're gonna wire it up, and we're gonna see if it fires up. Okie dokie. Really gonna start cutting, huh? You don't want to see this thing run.
No, yeah, I have to wait now anyway, so yeah.
Yeah, you're damn right you do. So you can see here, this is where I had to cut this steel out. Otherwise, you wouldn't have been able to put that bolt in. Now we're not going to wire up the alternator for a couple of reasons. First of all, there's no belt on it. And second of all, she plenty rusty. So we want to take that apart and check it out before we go about putting that thing on there. But we are going to connect the ignition. Okay, so we said we were going to bleed the injectors, right? So this will allow diesel fuel to come out of the injectors if everything goes well. Okay, so first try. Yeah, you don't have to take them off all the way. Just loosen them. Okay, contact. Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird thumping sound, though. Let's get some throttle going here. No fuel coming out. Oh, I smell exhaust. Ouch. Can you turn the key on? Okay, turn it off. Yeah, plenty of fuel coming out at the entrance to the injection pump. Okay, contact. Yeah, no fuel coming out there. Okay, don't move. You're gonna... So 2 screws to take the kill solenoid off, and go ahead and turn it on. So you can see it actuates just fine, and I press against it and it's got plenty of tension, so I don't think it's that. All right, pausing. Okay, so that was the fuel shutoff solenoid was going. So now we've removed all 3 pipes and blew some brake cleaner through them and blew them out with air. And give it a turn there, champion. And we are not getting fuel through it. Okay, so I wired this up so it would click when the key was on, and we just had the pipes off, and go ahead and turn it. Okay. So that's with the shutoff solenoid deactivated, we're getting plenty of fuel through. So obviously, you know, this isn't intended to be energized the whole time the engine is running as I thought it was supposed to be. It's really only energized when you want to shut off the engine. Okay, so we're gonna put the shutoff solenoid back together and put the pipes back on and give it another try. Maybe we'll get it to start. Okay, so we reinstalled the pipes, bled the injectors. We got a little bit of fuel here. We didn't get quite a ton, but a little bit. Okay, contact. It runs. And plenty of black smoke. Oh, we get a lot of fuel out of these guys now too, so I have to
change the little rubber gaskets or something.
No, there's no gaskets in there. That's metal to metal. Should be metal.
Oh yeah, I could have saw wrong.
Oh, okay. You thought you saw a gasket in there?
I thought I did.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong.
All right, let's try it again. That's the kill. Don't lose that. Okay, yeah, it runs a little better with a little bit of throttle on it.
So this is blowing air out. That's supposed to happen here?
You getting air blowing out of that?
Here,
yeah. I don't know. We could have a stuck...
Because this blow out black smoke originally.
Yeah.
But, so, I mean, it's getting exhaust here, but there's stuff coming out of here too. It's making also that big noise.
Huh, okay. Pausing. Okay, well, I don't want to do that again because it was hella loud, but Champ noticed that gases of some sort were coming out of the intake here, which it shouldn't do. So we took the filter out and started it, and we were getting exhaust coming out of the intake. So basically, there's a valve that's stuck or burnt, something like that. So we're looking at taking the exhaust muffler and the valve cover off at least to see if we can find a, just a stuck valve or something like that. Would be good to find. Okay, so we took the intake filter off and the valve cover off, and we found this cylinder's exhaust valve, the lifter rod, push rod had popped off from the thing. So we put that back on. This guy was gapped to 6 thousandths. This guy was gapped to 6 thousandths. This guy was gapped to like 2 thousandths. So we gapped this guy to 6 thousandths on the exhaust side. And we're going to start it without the intake on there just to see how it goes. I got the Magic Kill electrons here. And we're going to go with the glow plugs, which we did find were working. So glow plug and start a Rooney. Oh, that's a lot better. That's how these engines are supposed to sound. So just a little review on this. I think I figured out what the chain of events probably was to get this tractor into a state with only 103 hours on it that it wouldn't run again. And they just parked it forever. So the theory is that they had it parked for maybe, a year or two, and then they wanted to use it or move it or whatever else. So they went out to the tractor, turned the engine over, and it wouldn't start. And the reason it wouldn't start is because this exhaust valve, all the way out here on the end, had rusted a little bit in place, and the lifting rod for that valve popped out and went to the side. And we found that, or rather Champ found that, when I took the valve cover off. He looked, and the first thing he saw was that the lifting rod for that valve was, the push rod was off to one side. So we put that back in, ran the engine around a little bit, and found that it still turned, and it was okay. As I said before, the clearance on the center end cylinder was less than 3 thousandths. This was 6, that was 6, so I adjusted that to 6 and put it all back together. Okay, so with that cylinder, with the exhaust valve permanently closed, when this cylinder was trying to exhaust, it was also in compression. It was in compression, rather, not also, but it was in compression because it was trying to exhaust, but the exhaust valve wasn't open, so it was compressing. At the same time, one of these other cylinders was also in compression because it was pushing up, getting ready to fire. So you got 2 cylinders in compression at the same time. This poor little starter, not capable of handling it because of the plastic ring gear in this planetary. In fact, I think this is a brand new starter, and I think this ring gear is damaged now because when I try to start it, I can hear the planet gears spinning in there sometimes. So ultimately, because this exhaust valve was closed, it was causing so much compression that the plastic ring gear in here got destroyed, and they thought it was something to do with a solenoid or something because the starter would not turn over the engine, because as soon as the planet gears tried to overcome compression on that trashy ring gear, it would just stop. The starter wouldn't spin anymore. And that's it. That's why this thing sat for however long it sat, and let it go to a big rusty ball. It still has some issues. I put the belt back on, and it circulates water. There's a water leak somewhere. I think it's where the water pump housing attaches to the block. I probably won't mess with it. until we get the rest of the thing taken care of to make sure that the hydraulics work and everything. But the engine, I mean, it starts and runs very well, right? I mean, I'll start it for you right now. No glow plugs. A little bit of black smoke at the beginning, but that's about it. The throttle. Charger light's out, so the battery's charging. That stupid little thing makes a bunch of noise, but I don't know what that is. So, there you go. When your engine does weird things, and it's all, you know, thanks to Champ, because he noticed he was standing on this side of the engine when it was starting, and he could feel the exhaust getting pushed out here. So every time, you know, that cylinder would come up to exhaust and try to push gas out, it would just have major compression and it would get blown back into the intake. Well, there you go. So the engine runs. What's next? We take off all of this tin, the seat, everything, maybe even the fuel tank, and get it all. Probably I'll take the tires off too. Get it all the hydraulic lines, because these things are all rotten. You know how bad that is. Get it the hydraulic lines, take those off, plug all of that up, drain every last bit of hydraulic fluid that's in it out, and put new hydraulic fluid in, a new filter, and put something on the drive shaft stub to drive it. I'm thinking a drill or something, to see if we can build some hydraulic pressure and or initiate the hydrostatic drive and just make the wheels turn a little bit. If that happens, then I'll go forward with reconnecting the drive shaft. But until that happens, I'm not going to mess with any of that. I'm still trying to figure out how to get that off. It's a problem. I'd like to replace that fan, but if I can't get this yoke off, then it's kind of useless to even try that. So anyway, there we go. Aloha.